on the side there. This is going to be our second try. You'll see the blooper episode. That's going to be a little bit before this, as we had mini versions of ourselves in the corner down here. But this is Double Take, our review show for GamingLag.com, where we talk about the games that we've been playing over the past month. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Mike Chalice, and this is the man with the beard, Matt Bird.
How's it going?
And we are going to talk about only one game, because over the holidays, that's pretty much all we played. We're a little bit late to it, but that is Dying Light. So let's jump into why we like the story. You were already explaining that in our last episode, but you're going to have to explain it again because this is going to be the actual one.
Now that we've restarted, I should have taken that stuff out the front of the table too.
Yeah.
Oh well. We'll have to deal with it now.
It's fine. It's just a mouse and some keys, people. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it there. It's fine.
Further in.
No big deal.
Alright, so the story. Did not particularly care for a lot of the side quests, but now that you've mentioned the... some of them, yes, some of them do have some grit and things, but the side quests themselves, I wasn't a big fan of. But the actual story, the way that they did rise, the GRE, the military, Kyle Crane as Batman, I really enjoyed the story. And now I'm going to steal some of your thunder. Yes, it was a little bit cliche where, oh, you're the bad guy, but now you're the good guy, turn around because of what happens to you within the game, getting bitten. There's some holes, like when you destroy all the Antizin in one of the very first missions at nighttime. You've been fucking bitten. You should have actually kept some for yourself.
You kept one file. It's fine.
One.
Before we go any further, though, in the last episode, when we tried to do this the first time and realized that we had video and video going at the same time, this is probably going to be heavy on spoilers, so please be aware of that if you are looking to play. Not that the story really has any pertinence to how good the game actually is, but if you don't want to find out anything, then please probably not listen to this. Again, Matt sort of mentioned I disagree. I think the side quests have a lot of are pretty robust and they're pretty unique. Most of them, there are some busy work ones where you have to go get herbs, but, and I mentioned this in the last one, the gather quests are not just here's a target on your map, go find it. You actually had to read into them and find out exactly where they were. And then once you did find the location, obviously there was enough there to, complete that. But I really, really like the side quests. And again, the story isn't the reason that you're going to play this game, but the story is definitely good. It's not. There's some twists and turns that happen that you weren't necessarily expecting, but most of it is fairly predictable. But let's jump into why the game is awesome, which is the goddamn gameplay. Matt, what's your favorite part about the gameplay? That's what I want to hear. Parkour.
You guys all hit 24 on your power level long before me because you guys would stop and fight and I'd keep running because the parkour and just the way that you can jump from building to building, the whole mechanics. Right now I'm just on, there's a little bit of a grind, but to be kind of expected when you're doing a RPG-esque game, I'm going to call it, because of the skill tree.
Yep.
But no, I'm loving the parkour. That's my favorite part.
The parkour in the game is basically what everything Mirror Edge Catalyst should be striving to be. It's my favorite part of the game too, just traversing the environment and the things that they give you later on as you level up to make it a little bit easier. And it's not it. I would love to say that it's like Assassin's Creed-esque, where yes, you are jumping on roofs and stuff like that. But the fact that when you're holding the jump button, which is R1, you will not grab a ledge unless you hold on to that button. So it really does give you like a sense of connection when you're climbing a building and you actually want to keep going. Things like that. The parkour system is perfect as far as that goes. The only gripe I have with the game is some slight frame rate issues when you're playing like 4-player co-op in heavy dense areas. But that being said, killing zombies it's the best zombie killing game ever made, in my opinion. There are areas where they're very scarce. There are areas where they're very dense, and all of which, like even the enemies that you can kill in one hit, if you don't pay attention and you don't actually like move out of the way and make sure that you're constantly maintaining, make sure nobody gets behind you, because if you have a bunch of them around you and one of them grabs onto you, you are fucked.
Yeah.
you are absolutely fucked because they are all going to hit you while this guy is trying to grab onto you, and you're dead. And these are enemies that you kill with one hit. So they did an amazing job at making hordes of zombies feel dangerous, and at the same time make them not feel dangerous if you just want to run by them. Because you can parkour and jump over them and vault on them and do all these things. Drop kick them, which leads me to my second favorite part of the game, which is how unique the RPG system is compared to other RPG systems, which is, and I mentioned this a little bit on the podcast, but the RPG systems are not just you have more strength, you do more damage, you do this, you do that. When in fact, the weapons you find and the crafting that you do determines how much damage you do. Leveling up has nothing to do with how much damage you do. Leveling up has everything to do with what you can craft, with how fast you can move around the city and how many traits you have to get out of situations, and how the diversity of your attacks. So in the power tree, you can get like a whirlwind for two-handed weapons and power slams, and you can get power attacks and all this other stuff. So it's not just like, here's more strength, here's more this, here's more of that, here's more of this, which is sort of how like a game like The Witcher 3 felt, which is a traditional RPG. This is like, here, now you can do a drop kick, now you can vault over this guy, now you can jump off of a bus and slam your machete through their chest and kill them in one hit. All awesome. What do you like about the RPG systems in the game?
It's going to be the exact same things. I'm going to put that away there.
I'll take over.
So it's the way it is, again, the leveling up system. Yes, you can do a drop kick, but it basically just clears the zombies away from your friends. But then when you reach a higher level, you can actually crush their skull in. When you were ahead of me at the beginning, you did drop a weapon for me, and that, for me to get that weapon myself, I did have to be a little bit of a level. So yes, the strength does matter in that sense, where you can't actually buy the weapons yourselves. You don't usually find them yourselves. But a friend can jump in with you, and they can also help you level faster. I did find at nighttime the leveling system went faster when with friends versus solo, though.
Yeah. The co-op play is amazing. It's 4-player co-op for anybody who doesn't know this. You can play 5 players, but the 5th player is just a zombie that jumps into the game that's like super powerful that you can hunt. But 4-player co-op is really fun. You can give each other weapons. You can drop them on the ground for each other. You can make sure that like you could literally like recreate movie scenes of back-to-back with both of you having a machete fighting off zombies for 2 hours if you really want. If you really want to. It's really awesome to see a game that has as fun of a gameplay loop as Metal Gear Solid 5 did for me, because right now me and you are just working on the platinum, and I don't platinum very many games, but this is one of those games that I am platinuming. I'm going to try to. I've never been that type of person, but yeah. So basically, I don't even... There's so many good things to say about the game. But I can't even describe... It's so hard to describe how good running around Haran feels. Just filled with zombies and stuff. And before this, my favorite zombie game was DayZ, but DayZ had a completely different approach, which was there wasn't that many zombies in the world. It was you're mostly scared of other humans and stuff like that, but they do a great job incorporating that into the game, where there are humans that are basically ruthless killers who are going to like try and fuck you up any chance that they get. That being said, let's move on from that, because obviously we love the RPG systems and all of that, but let's move on to the day-night system, which is another awesome part of Dying Light. So Matt, why don't you explain what the day-night system is in Dying Light?
So day and night pretty much says it all, but at nighttime, agility and power you get double your points for leveling up, but you also have to worry about the more dangerous enemies. They're called volatiles in the game, and the volatiles, unless you're me and Mike and want to tear through the entire city, can actually take you out in one hit. But me and Mike going through the night system, we would do the 27 we had when we were doing one of the nighttime missions.
Oh yeah, something crazy. We were just taking them all out, taking names.
But the day and night system, daytime is very easy. The enemies aren't as hard. You do have some called demolishers, which are a bit ridiculous.
But again, all of those enemies, if you don't want to fight them, with the exception of doing story missions and stuff like that, you can just go around them. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
The biggest change, and it does become slightly easier when you get higher level, but unlike a game that I've constantly said this that is infamous for doing really bad, like Fallout 4, which once you get a certain part in the game, everything is killable and it's not hard to do anything in that game, in my opinion. This game is still challenging at nighttime because yes, when you're running around at night, these volatiles show up, and on your map you can see like their vision range and stuff like that, but that's not really their vision range. If you're running on a rooftop and they're looking at you, they fucking see you.
And they chase you
until you grappling hook up onto a bridge, which that one might miss you, but then there's one on top of the bridge that's like, oh hey, there's a dude there, we should probably get him. So it never becomes easy to run around at nighttime. And the way that the game presents it is like, it actually is like a problem. So you get this guy on the radio an hour before nighttime, and he says, hey, by the way, guys, if you can't get back to main base, make sure you find a safe house, because we're about an hour away here, and you guys are going to die if you don't get back there. And then about 10 minutes, you see the sun going down, and the sunsets are really beautiful over the city, and it looks really good, and then he comes back on, he's like, all right, you know the drill, guys, lay low until morning, blah, 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 all this other stuff. And then you hear your watch go off, and that's 2 minutes too. And that is basically, and then all you see on your screen, it says night is coming. And that is basically the same thing as Game of Thrones saying winter is coming, because all these volatiles come out of the woodwork, and then all of a sudden you could be in the middle of a shitstorm in about 2 seconds. But it rewards you for going out at night, so it doubles all of your points and all of your experience that you get from agility and power when you're running around at night, which is risk reward basically, because you lose your other skill points if you die basically. So
not at nighttime.
No, not at nighttime. I guess that's true.
At nighttime they do reward you for going out at night, but you have you can die quite often. When you're going out as a group of people, it is a lot easier than when you're doing it solo. I know earlier today, working towards the platinum, doing some of the stuff at nighttime, trying to get the agility max all the way so that I don't get tired as I'm running for doing the agility challenges. Going out at night, I was like, oh, well, there's only 6 of them in this area. Me and Mike took out 27 in an area. I'll be fine. Nope. One jumped on me as soon as I got away.
As soon as that happens, you're done. So and they can do that. It is really, really hard to move around at night once you're seen, because they will chase you to no end. But I really love that, and you just reminded me that they do a really good job of restricting your, I guess, God mode when you get to the end of a game. Normally you're so powerful that it doesn't matter, with the exception of a few games, of course. But and I'll use the direct comparison again, Fallout 4, once you get like really good power armor, as long as you have cores for that power armor, everything in the game is very easy. But this, even now, we're not maxed on agility, so we still get tired. And if we're running and at the wrong moment we get seen by something, we run out of breath and we have to stop for a second, you're dead. That is not it's not an option of that. It's just, you're dead. Period. End of story. What else can we say about I mean, obviously we recommend it. We all picked it up when it was on sale over Boxing Week. I think it was Boxing Week. Yeah. We got it for $30. I'm sure there will be some sort of another sale before the following comes out, which is the expansion, which
there won't be another sale because they're re-releasing as a definitive edition. So yes, the ones that don't have the following included will be a little bit cheaper, but I can't see it being a big sale. Yeah,
well, hopefully you can find some copies for yourselves. But this is a highly recommended game from all 4 of us. Actually, we've all been playing it that do the podcast normally. Josh is a little bit behind us, but me, Matt, and Sam are pretty much in the same spot. Unbelievable how good that gameplay loop feels and stuff like that. So big recommend, and I agree with Asuki. I'm really excited to have more options and more trees and stuff like that.
Seems like it's only one more tree though.
Yeah, but Yeah, but that's perfectly okay with me. I understand there's only so much you can do with. They gave us three trees with the initial game and stuff, and the driving looks pretty fun. I stopped watching it though after about 2 seconds because I didn't want to spoil too much for me.
Sam spoiled it
yeah,
for me. You
but-
can run out of gas.
But I'm very excited to have a countryside to work with as opposed to a high dense city and stuff like that. Yeah. Anything else to add that we missed? Maybe that like
Easter eggs. Techland is amazing at them. They've given nods to even themselves, but the Italian Plumber Trophy.
Oh, yeah.
This is Huron. It's a lot of Easter eggs that you can find laying around the city too.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's just a well-crafted game overall, and it's. I can't believe how much shit we gave it last January when it came out.
It's so funny because I remember even thinking, I'm so done with zombies, like blah 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 this and blah 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 that, and obviously I was done with zombies because there was no really true awesome zombie game, and Dying Light is the best zombie game on out.
Yeah.
Period. End of story. Love to see it get VR support and throw up from motion sickness. That'd be awesome. So full recommend from us. Please, if you haven't tried it, go try it. And I know this broadcast is a little bit short, guys. We are gonna cut the broadcast here. So thank you very much for tuning in. To our Double Take episode. We appreciate you guys. We will be back later tonight with our full podcast, which will be the four of us. We're going to do that at 6 p.m. Eastern, so 7 o'clock our time.
If Josh is here by
as
then.
long as Josh is here by then, and we'll keep you updated on our Twitter as well. And that one we will we'll try and incorporate a little bit more of your guys' talking. So thank you very much for listening as I grab the PS4 controller to close.
They can still hear us.